Hello, 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 this is MrDeathtanker. We're here on Cliff, and we're in our T32 here. Tier 8 American Heavy Tank with the Troll Turret of Doom, that little beauty right there, and the so-so frontal armor, and you know, it's American Heavy, so everything else is crap. And the gun's so-so, but I really do love this tank. You know, once you get a hold down, I mean, look at that. Where do you shoot it? Oh, yay, shoot the hatch. That's like, what, half the size of the one on the T34? I mean, look how big the turret is compared to the T34 turret. It's tiny. Like, good luck even hitting that at a favorable angle of any. Like, yeah, you hit the frontal bit right here. 269 worth of armor. Good luck, sir. Anyway, this is a really good setup. 68% chance to win by, you know, XVM. You know, you can't really depend on XVM too much, but it's always a good indication of how you want to play this. And I'm seeing all the heavy tanks go up here. I figured I'd have more support, but basically my job as a heavy that doesn't have a whole lot of armor, I'm just going to place myself as a roadblock at D2. That may not be the best play, especially in this tank, you know, with the, you know, so-so frontal armor except for the top of the turret, but I'm really just feeling the need to be a roadblock at this one area, and I just hope it kind of just works out and I don't get caught out and absolutely destroyed by one of their tanks. But I do have a Roomba for support. Then he's got the 150mm troll gun, so that'll be something to see. Anyway, I'm just waiting here, waiting for shots, bidding my time. I poke up a little bit to see what I can see. Not so much more. Oh, but I did get shot by a Yak Panther who somehow saw me. Not quite sure how he did that. Not like this thing's got great. Oh, but he gets stomped by the Roomba, and I put a speculative shot in there. I'm just basically be here for a roadblock for the rest of our tanks. We've also got an SU-100Y in the back, a box. I'm not sure how much help he's going to be here, but you know, take what we can get. And I'm basically just fishing for shots, keeping myself well angled, just looking for anybody I can see to give these two tank destroyers spots. And I really just want to know who's here, who's coming after me, and then we spot a very big problem. 2 IS-6s and then a platoon. Try to get a first shot into him, but it bounces off the troll Russian armor basically all over that tank. That's what it is. It's troll armor all over. See the Yak Panther again, and he's way out there, but go for a shot, and it just happens to just glide right into his sign armor, so he's dead now, and that's one dangerous tank out of the way. That could have been an impediment. And IS-6 is his priority. He bounces off me, and I just shoot him in the hatch. These IS-6s aren't terribly good. Wait a minute. Yeah, as you can see here, they're not terribly good. I mean, they're average, but at the same time, like, they seem to have a lot of troubles taking care of me, while I have no troubles with them. IS-6 is a very hard tank to kill, especially with this gun, 200 pin. But at this close range, with their hatches, and with them not moving very much, it's not all that hard to really take them down. Because as much as they have troll armor and I don't, I know where to shoot them still on their weak points, and I'm just staying here, making sure they don't go anywhere. And then we have a very weird play by our T-44. He basically decides to yellow them. I go for another hatch shot on the other IS-6. T-44 is still going for it. Roomba spanks that IS-6 really bad. And I just go for a lower plate shot. Goes through, no troubles. Troll armor, but if you shoot in the weak spots, doesn't matter too much. And I go for a shot over his dead buddy. Track him, don't do any damage. Bounced off the side. You know, 200 pin, that's what you're going to get. Just get the shots you can get. There's 2 mediums above me, but I'd really just need to kill this IS-6 while he's still so out of position and I'm so well angled behind his dead buddy. And as you can see there, 176 pin, 175 pin rather, frontal armor, not that great, but it can still bounce that, because that's pretty terrible pin at this tier. Shoot him again, do more damage. He bounces a shot from the SU-100Y. He bounces a shot off me, because he just seems to just want to shoot me for no apparent reason. He stops. I shoot him in his hatch again. I don't know exactly what he's doing. I don't see why he thinks he's going to bounce. And he stops again, stays still, and I kill him. And that's, 2.5k damage, because these guys just depended on their armor too much. T20 hits me in the side, weak weak side armor. That's, the American thing. We got heavy tanks, but it's basically medium armor everywhere else except the front. And I'm just looking to take these two mediums down and shoot the cheek of the T20. It's not all that strong. You can't really stop that. And then there's this E8. Very strange thing about this E8, he's actually using the 105 dirt. That's why he's doing damage with HE, as you can see here by my damage panel. And that's really, really weird. EZ8s usually go for their top 75 or 76 millimeter. This guy is not. He's using the dirt for whatever reason. And I'm not terribly sure why. It seems like a very bad play on his part, because, yeah, the derp does guaranteed damage, but why? Why would you use that when you have, such an amazing gun with the top 75? But, pity to him. He's going against a heavy tank, and his HE is not doing much damage at all. So, he's just in a very bad spot against a very bad tank for what I am. Unless he hits me in the sides, which is my main concern. I'm not pushing because... Okay, granted, they are a tier 6 and a tier 7 medium, but if they circle me, I'm in trouble, even with their tier, because my, rear and side armor, it's trashed. It's basically just there to stop HE from hurting too much, but beyond that, don't get circled by mediums, because they'll just go straight through it. You can't even angle it all that well. All you can really hope is that the tracks will absorb the shots, but they seem to have backed off for whatever reason. And focusing on our super Pershing. But that seems to be their mistake, because now I'm here and, they're way out of position, and all they can really hope is to, do a little bit more damage to me. And he does 200. That's, great for him, but now I'm here and you're kind of just screwed. And he gets shot and he's dead now, so it's like, well, good job. And it's 13-11, not a real big surprise, but just to bounce the E2. I don't know what he was using. This seemed small caliber and it didn't explode, so he's actually using some sort of penetrating shell, and it's not really working out for him. Try to get a really ballsy shot of him here, but I'm not sure why I took that shot. Maybe RNGesus would have protected me. And yeah, I'm bragging a little bit about my damage, but T34 out in the open. There is no way he's getting out of this. I really don't care about my health, because there's realistically no way he can kill me. I just want to get a little bit more damage on him. And I kill him for the 4th kill, and that's almost 4k damage. It's a really good result for this tank. And as you can see, the frontal hull armor of this thing isn't amazing, but even at, at extreme angles, it'll still bounce like everything. And as long as you know the weak points, the gun still works. And, well, lower tiers as well, but those were, premium tanks, infamous for their armor, but once you know the weak points, you know how to shoot, know how to utilize the strength of your tank, you can do quite a bit of damage. Anyway, let's look at those in-game plates. Alright guys, here we are at World of Tanks Replays, and here we have the T32 game, and as you can see it was a mastery. Also got steel wall and high caliber. As you can see, we engaged a lot of targets. We earned a lot of silver. That's almost like... It is pretty much premium levels of how much silver we earned. And because the shells are so cheap on this gun, we actually made a very tidy profit. And as you can see, we made a lot of XP, but that was also a 2x for the day. As you can see, we got top XP, and we did get top damage as well. He did very well in his super Pershing. But as you can see, we still kind of knocked it out of the park in terms of damage. And, 19 shots, 16 hits, 15 pins. Can't get much better than that. I mean, you can get a penetration every time you hit, but with a 105mm, that's kind of hard to do. And before we go, also take a notice of damage blocked by armor. And we were hit 12 times, but only pinned 6 times. And as you can see, if you really work that the front turret, and even the frontal plate, you can really get a lot of bounces. And we basically bounce more health than is in our tank. And actually, I wanted to make a point before we go. I'm actually going to flash up Armor Inspector, Tank Inspector. Just give me a minute here. Okay, now we're in Tank Inspector, and if you guys do not have this program, this is basically a third-party program that takes the actual data out of all of the tanks and basically puts them up for you to see. You know, pretty much got firepower, every little bit of information that Wargaming decides that you don't need to know. But, you know, that's not really the point of here. What I wanted to show you is, as you probably can all guess, this is just a zone of nope. I mean, look at that. Yeah, 298. Doesn't get much better. It's ricochet, ricochet. In places, it's like, where's that one place? 712, and the sides are not much better. They're well angled. I mean, there's a couple places where you can get lucky if you have a very, very high penetration gun or premium, but it's not worth it. And even the turret, I mean, it's like, yeah, you can get a ricochet, random ricochet area, ricochet. It's almost still 200 all around. I mean, it's just curved and it's so troll, and it's just, this is not a good space to shoot it. And conventional wisdom is to, if you have to aim at this, don't shoot it at all. Go for the frontal lower, the frontal plate up here in the front, or even the lower. But the problem with that is, straight on, yeah, no question, hit this. You know, it only gets like 187-ish out of there. Don't shoot this flat bit up here because it's pretty, like, extremely well angled, and even the lower bit, it's not much better. But as soon as you put it at an angle like this, like if you're fighting in a city, well, 257 ricochet, 264, and you just have to think about, well, that's really not bad at an angle. All of a sudden you're getting extreme angles of amount of armor here, and I mean, there's this weak point right here, machine gun port. They was probably put there for the exact reason this is happening, but that's pretty good. I mean, they can still shoot your sides, but many people hyper focus your top frontal plate because that's what they've been doing this entire time. They shoot it and they bounce off because, you know, 250. I mean, tier 8, that's pretty damn good. And the bottom is becoming auto bounce because of how low it is and how well angled it is. So, I mean, when you think of the T32, yes, remember that this is troll. Do not shoot this. This is, you're not going to get anywhere by doing this. But fear this as well, because if it's flat on, no troubles, shoot right through it. Even machine gun weak point. If it's at an angle, don't think that you're going to go right through it because it's extremely well angled, and it, as you can see here, it is pretty strong as well. Anyway, that's all we have time for, guys. See you later.